Look at both of us with our curated books behind.
Yes, no, it's very exciting. I realize it's, I don't have everything neatly stacked back there, so next time I'll have to make sure I do that.
Yeah. No, I like them like that.
But we don't have, neither of us have like DVDs or anything else that we should, given what we're talking about, right?
Yes, books. Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited to see with you. I enjoyed watching Scrubs. I think was one of the first shows that I regularly watched, like when I was into TV, and it's great to see you back and working again with Bill. But I don't know. I think there are a lot of similarities between those two characters. Do you think that they're alike?
You mean with Liz and Jordan?
Sort of. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like she's really different to me. Like she's vulnerable. I mean, she wears her heart on her sleeve and she's a little needy and nosy. And I don't think Jordan cared about anybody. I mean, she wasn't nosy because she didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So
I think they're both sort of scary in different ways, but also very endearing.
thank you. I've it's been such a pleasure to play this part. I feel like every day is going in like I feel insecure. You just don't never know what's going to happen. So it's been really, really fun. And since I didn't write the show, I feel like I can say I love the show so much.
You feel like you had any influence over the character at all?
Not really. I mean, Brett was writing a separate show and Bill was writing a show and they brought it together. And I had always thought I was going to do Brett's dark show. Like I wasn't going to do Bill's show. And he wrote the, the part for me in his show. And Brett and so I didn't really feel like, I mean, obviously, you make it part of yourself, you bring part of yourself to the role, and that's how I work. But I don't know. I didn't have much influence. I really trust Bill at work, and I trust Bill, and I trust Brett, and I like their sensibilities. And I just knew. I also felt it was time for me to do something different. I just really didn't want to have a lot of input.
What do you connect with most about Liz?
Well, I'm also a nerd and collect rocks, and that is true. That is it. That's collect for my own life. I think Brett came over and I had during the pandemic, I just like taken over the backyard with like my rock equipment and cabbing machine and saw. And Brett was like, "What are you doing? This is insane." And I was like, "Well, because it's rocks." And they just, he just thought it was so silly. But so I share that with her. But what's the fun? I like that she's at a certain point, I have a couple of friends that were like the moms that didn't work, had kids and like were the president of the parents association and did all the things, and they were the ones that helped me because I was working. I'd be like, what do I need to bring, what brownies, what thing, and they'd always help. They made my life easy at school, because they took the brunt of that. And then their kids left and they were kind of lost. And both of them started successful businesses. Really, I'm so proud of them and it's really cool. But I know they had a really difficult 2 years. So I'm really, I really and I went through that with them. So that's what I enjoy playing about her. I think she's really kind of searching about trying to think of what she's going to do.
Really like all the relationships she has with the characters, and I want to start with Derek because I spoke to Ted and was like, I feel bad for him, but I think we agreed that like he's happy, Derek, but he's like part of a different show, and we're just seeing one side of him on this series.
He's a comedy assassin. I love working with Ted McGinley. I'm the straight man when I'm working with Ted McGinley. I'm just like, he's just so funny. I don't even bother. And he's such a lovely person too. We immediately had chemistry. Bill has wanted to work with him forever. And when he said to me that, I did have a little input in, and he said, what do you think of Ted McGinley to play your husband? I'm like, oh, that's perfect. That is so genius. And you wanted to work with him, and we knew him socially a little bit and we love him. And yeah, I mean, I think the first season he was just recurring, and next season he's a regular. So I think there'll be more to Derek, but he's so funny. I mean, he kills us all.
It's such a great ensemble, and I particularly like Jessica Williams, and I love the fact that Gabby and Liz, we get to there's a lot of backstory with everyone else, and we get to see their friendship sort of like evolve.
Yeah, which is great. And I love working with Jess. I mean, I love working with everybody. Everybody has such a different energy. And Jessica and I mean, now when I come in, because I always tease her, and then I walk in and she's like, don't even with you. What are you going to start? Like and I'm actually, we have a charity to go to, the Best Buddies charity. I was like, will you be my date? And she's like, yes. So we're going out on an official date soon.
It's really nice. It's also nice to see the relationship that she has with Alice, and I think Lukita. I watched her on Generation. I think she's very talented, and
Yeah.
it's nice to see. I don't. I'm just curious what you can say about that working relationship.
I love it. I think what I like about this show is that everybody in the show has accountability. So, she pointed out what I was doing, and I'm like, shit. And then I point out, well, she's the godmother. What has she done? And she had accountability and addressed it. And I feel like the people that I have in my life now and my close friends, we all have accountability. And I mean, not that there's drama going on, but it so deflates everything. And it's interesting to watch when someone does that. And I admire the people in my life that have accountability and also reflect on, you know, take action on decisions they want to make in their life. I had a friend of mine just recently quit drinking, and he just like, I just want to be a better guy, and this isn't working. And I never even thought anything about it. I didn't think he had an alcohol problem, but I just love people taking action, right? Forward motion.
Yeah, and we definitely see that with Sean, and I think Luke is a great talent who I was not familiar. He's I think one of the only people I didn't know before this show, and it's great to see him here.
He's fantastic. I mean, he kills it. It's so funny because you never know who you're going to work with or what's going to happen in a day, which is kind of why I love acting so much. And everyone has a different energy. No one's talking. Sometimes you watch things and everyone is as smart as everybody else, and which is fun too. But this show, it's like everyone's in this different energy, and then it's fun to work with everyone. Then my Jason and Harrison.
Of course, yeah, I was like, it took us this long to get to Jason. I'm not sure, but it's
Well, I mean, he's my favorite. He texted me yesterday going, sending you love. That's it, fucker, because he calls me fucker. And that says it all. I mean, he's the best guy ever.
yeah. And we didn't mention Harrison Ford, who I'm sure is quite an intimidating and impressive presence.
I know, but you know what the bummer is? You want it to be, but then Harrison kind of just is like, they're like making it so I'm a working actor. I'm having a ball. This is so much fun. Why haven't I done comedy before? And then you forget, and it's annoying. I think he should show up more as Indiana Jones, right? I mean, he should come as Indy more often, I think.
Yeah, no, of course. I also know that you work a lot on the music of the show. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I'm the music supervisor of the show, which is really fun. And I work with that, acting wise. So it's the most fun to do the music on a show when you're on the show, because I can think of it all week and it can inform my choices. And then I think I'm brilliant often, during the week. I'm like, ah, that's brilliant. Oftentimes it doesn't work, but I have a long drive into work. So I listen to music on the, it's so much fun for me. That's really fun to put the music in. And also, especially when you're trying to make something work, that's great.
Have you heard any surprising reactions to the show, Liz, the music, anything?
You know, um, Everyone's been really lovely. Like I've had so many friends like just contact me out of the blue, and they all say the loveliest things that I feel in such a sincere way. It's like more than enjoy the show and say they told people. So I don't know, feels it's special to me. I'm grateful.
What would you like to see from Liz in season two?
I think she's got to sort some things out in season 2. But again, I don't really have input. Um, I am not a comedy writer. Um, I don't know. I think, everyone's going to go through their little struggles. in season 2. I have like little hints of it, but I don't really want to know. I think it's exciting to find out with everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that we talked about Scrubs before, but you were also part of shows like Cougar Town and Drew Carey Show. Do you find that there are still fans of those series that are as excited about them now as they were when they were airing?
Um, yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, I think it's funny because I think Scrubs and Cougar Town both have like a cult kind of audience. So if it's like one of those people, they're such great fans and they appreciate the show, and I also thought the show was very funny. So I love people like that. Yeah, Shrinking, it's a whole different energy. They're like, my friend was going through a hard time, and then I used to watch Shrinking, or they want to talk about therapy, how in the pandemic they understand, like it's opened up like this whole different dialogue, which is really nice.
Yeah. And in between these two seasons, is there anything else that you're working on that you'd like to share?
No, I'm not sure I'm gonna have time to do this one little thing, but it's just gonna depend with what happens. I don't know what's gonna happen because I think we start pretty soon, hopefully.
Wonderful. Well, it's great to be able to talk to you a little bit about the show. And again, I love this show, and it's nice just to be able to revisit it.
Thank you so much, Abe. It's a pleasure to meet you.